Okay, it's been a few days. It's just been busy. Sick kids again, and just some other stuff I'm working on. A couple of books I'm trying to write at the same time. But anyway, enough excuses. They're for weaker men. I've just finished a blog post that I've entitled "Barnhard is Spiraling." It's a little hat tip there to the Big Bear and his followers and his detractors, all of whom use this word spiraling when somebody's just about freaking out. And the last couple of blog posts, and in fact even the last podcast she did, podcast 101, basically the only two things that the tiny little tethers that are holding Anne from basically saying sedeprivationism is correct, or sedevacantism, whichever word you want to use, is that she said two things. Well, one, the church has to be visible, which quite clearly it is, because we've got YouTube, you know about it, you're watching me. Sedeprivationism and sedevacantism is everywhere. There are over 300 brick and mortar churches around the world. Probably more than that now. I'll put the link to ecclesia.org where you can find the nearest church to you. And, some of them might be far. Sure, you might have to travel far to get to one. You might even have to go to another country to visit one. Fine. So what? The guys who did the Crusades sometimes only had Mass once a year. So if they managed to hold the Holy Land for a couple hundred years, with Mass once a year, I reckon you can make the effort. You can do a proper Mass once in a while when you can. So visibility, and this is the quote from one of her blog posts, which I found, okay, so you've shot your own argument in the foot. This is now from Anne's blog. Remember, the visibility of the church is not a matter of how many people see it or claim that they can't see it. The church will always be visible, lit up by the light of Christ, but people fallen into the darkness of sin will be blinded to it. Imagine Ray Charles standing on the Las Vegas Strip. Ray's blind, he can't see it. That doesn't mean that Las Vegas is invisible, it just means that Ray is blind. Well, by that token, again, there's absolutely no argument there from me, because that's what I've been saying for years. The church is visible, and it's there. Now, her other argument was, 62 years is just too long. And in her podcast 101, she even made a comparison saying, we're not like those sedeprivationists from no Pope since 1958, because, if Ratzinger dies and we've still got Francis on the throne for, 45 minutes or whatever, that's not the same at all. Those guys haven't had a Pope for 62 years. Yeah, and there's no limit. So, as I've said before, both in video and on my blog, there is no limit. There's no prescribed timeline where it ends. The interregnum can carry on indefinitely. There is a way to have another pope, which I've discussed elsewhere. So, that one, really we have to put down to wishful thinking on Anne's part. And I understand why she's reluctant to let go of, what she believes, but facts are facts. And then I found very telling another quote from one of her blog posts, which is, when instruction and correction are framed as attack by the fault, only stagnation and then profound retrogression result. This is where she talks about Dostoevsky, which, by the way, Vox Day also blogged on, and I'm pretty sure that, Vox is inching his way towards Catholicism. I mean, he's reading Barnhard. He's linked to a couple of my blog posts. It's okay, Vox, you can come in from the cold, if you want to be a hardcore Catholic, you can join the ranks. We certainly could use a general of your ability in the fight. So, yeah. Anyway, so, Vox was talking about how Dostoevsky knew the Gamma and refers to it as what is it? Diabolical narcissists. I just don't like them. Whatever you call them, gammas, satanists, scumbags, basically, evil, weak little men. That's what they do. But she goes on to call it, this is again from Anne's blog, there is no clearer cultural example of this today than the post-Vatican II Novus Ordoist Catholic Church. Banality, primacy of individual conscience, toxic sentimentality, all yielding rebellion, manifesting as a contempt for sacred tradition, beauty, objective truth, and ultimately contempt for the law, which is nothing less than hatred of God himself. Well, there you go, Anne, you know, thanks, but I've been saying that for a long while. I quite like that she calls them Novus Ordoist. It's just a short step now. Novus Orco. That's what they are. They're orcs, Anne. They're orcs. They've been twisted by evil, and they're orcs, doing what orcs do. Destroying, raping, pillaging, and just being evil. That's what they do. So, yeah. Short video there on Anne. Sorry to take some shots at her. I like Anne. I really do. And, you know, sometimes, like I've said before, why do cattle prods exist? Because you need them to move cattle. Now, Anne is kind of a cattle prod herself, but you know, she's a low voltage cattle prod, not like yours truly here, which has got Kurgan level voltage. So yeah, I hope she comes around soon, and if Vox comes around too, that would be awesome. I mean, I don't really dare think it, because you know, the man is so individualistic. It's you know, and I know him a little bit, so I think it might be a long while. It might be a long wait, you know. But yeah, you never know, you know. God works in mysterious ways. So there's that, and a couple of other things. We're still progressing on that thing I told you with one of the immortals. I think I can say his first name, Todd. So Todd, keep going at it, mate. I know it's, you know, sometimes you get a little bit disheartened or whatever. You get busy. You get, life comes at you in many ways. That's just life. You just gotta keep fighting. I'm also busy with a couple of other books and a couple of other things I'm trying to put together. And yeah, I've just been busy with paperwork stuff that, yeah, just painful life shit that nobody really cares about. But oh, and I just saw that I forgot to put in the microphone, so this might be a little bit low. I'm gonna see if I can fix it with a boosting the sound with a little software. So I'll keep it short, because that works best when it's a short video. So that'll be it for today, and hopefully I'll get to do another couple of little videos soon. Okay, good night.